Okay, here's my problem for the day. I have a 1280 to 1 ratio gearbox, and we don't make too many planetary gears. We do make worm and worm gears quite often though. This is an 80 tooth worm gear. This is a single lead worm. However, hidden beneath here is a pinion. This pinion is fixed. These two gears are not independent of each other. The bottom one is a 15 tooth, the top one is a 14 tooth. And the stamping on the bottom is fixed in place. That's a 30 tooth stamping. So we have a 2-to-1 ratio there. However, on the bottom of the bronze worm gear, the pinion sets on this little post and spins. And this 30 tooth gear spins independently of the bronze gear as well, which eventually brings you to your final point, your 1280 to 1. Now I can't seem to get my head around this. I'm looking for a formula to work out. I know if this spins around twice, or this goes around once, this little gear is turning twice. And because there's one tooth difference, you're going to index this one 2 teeth every time it goes around. But because this is a 30 tooth gear, if you index that 2 teeth every time, 15 rotations would bring you around full circle. 15 rotations times 80 doesn't come to 1280, so I'm trying to figure out where that 16th, because 16 times 1280 is, or 16 times 80 is 1280, and I'm trying to work out a formula that will tell me, will lay it all out for me, because I also have a similar gearbox that has an 80 to 1 ratio, worm and worm gear. Then you have on the bottom here is a 30 tooth stamping, the same as the other box, but the pinion, which is actually here, is 16 teeth and 14 teeth. So that goes on the bottom. The only difference is 16 and 14, and then on the bottom of this is actually a 32 tooth stamping to reach that 14 tooth gear, because it's small enough that they didn't mess around with the pitch diameter too much, and they just increased that by 2 teeth. Now, just making that slight change drops the ratio all the way down to 445 to 1 from 1280. So I'm just trying to work out a formula that I can plug these in. My existing customer, this is a GE gearbox, limit switch box, and my customer wants to create some various ratios with the units that we're making. We actually make these gears for this GE box, but a customer that makes a different box wants to be able to offer more ratios to their customers. They don't use the planetary set in the bottom. Instead, they come up through the center and offer a couple of different ratios up here, a 1-to-1, 2-to-1, and 3-to-1 ratio up here to off 111 tooth worm gear. So they have the 111 to 1, 222 to 1, and 333 to 1. But I'd love to incorporate some more gears below theirs. I think it's configured in a way that I can do that. It's just getting the numbers in place. Anyhow, just curious if you had any ideas for equations on that.